everyone, it's Jade. Next week, my husband and I are going to be in Utah, and we'll be leaving our 4 children here in Florida and with our lovely babysitter. She's a good friend. Anyways, a lot of times we have to leave and travel, and I had to prepare my children for that. And I thought about all the mums and parents that have to leave to go to places and things. And I just want to share with you some of my tips for preparing children when parents or grandparents leave, okay, or they travel, okay? It's important because we want the children to feel loved, and we don't want them to feel abandoned, and want them to have some anxiety of us being away. So there's a few things that we can do to help ease that transition and change. Okay, so I have 7 tips for you today. So number 1 is just announce your plans early. So tell the kids a week in advance or so that you're planning to leave and where you're going to go, and just to give them time to sink that message in, and then they can have time to ask you questions and give you time to prepare them too. Okay, so the second thing is to check for understanding and clarify expectations. Okay, sometimes as adults, when we communicate with children and they nod, we think they understand, but sometimes they don't. So this is how I check for understanding for adults and children. So I show them on a map. When they were younger, I show them on a map where I am going, and then I show them where they are, and I show them how far we are. Okay, so that they can see that we're going to be away. Okay, now my children are older; they know where states and things are. But when they were younger, that was a good thing for me to do. The other thing too is to ask them to repeat back to you, where is Mummy going? Why is Mummy going? And what do you think Mummy's going to do? Okay, so that they show you that they understand. Okay, because as a school teacher, sometimes I ask kids, oh, how come your mom's not home? And they have no idea. Okay, and then that causes them anxiety, and they can't focus on school and all these things. So I think this is very important, just to make sure they understand us right. So the other thing is ask them what they will be doing, who will be staying with them. Okay, you tell them who it is and what they're going to do, and then ask them to repeat back to you what they're going to do. Okay, and that's a very simple way of sharing expectations. So if your kids need more help, you can actually draw out a schedule for them, how many boxes for each day, and then activities that they are going to do with their babysitter. So something that they're going to look forward to. Grandma's going to take you to the park, she's going to take you to the movies on this day, whatever it is. Just write it out, draw it out, so they have expectations. So if they're busy doing fun things, they won't miss you. Okay, so that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is practice communication. So most families have iPads, right? And iPhones and iPods and things, so we can do FaceTime. So if you have never FaceTimed with your children, it's a really good idea to practice now. So you go into a separate room and FaceTime with them, and it's a fun activity. They'll laugh and they'll have fun, and you just make believe, hey, how are you guys doing? What are you guys up to? Show me your bedroom. Okay, so then they have a feel of how it's going to be when you're gone. My youngest are 10 now, can you believe it? So I gave them little cell phones, and we practiced calling each other, practiced texting each other, and so the last couple of days it's like, hey Mom, I'm on the bus. So it's good, because then now they have a good feel of how it's going to be when I'm gone. Okay, so that's practice communication. You want to have a list of phone numbers of friends and relatives around if they have questions or comments, or need someone to talk to or whatever, if they can't get a hold of you. Of course you have the babysitter there to help, but I don't know, just a peace of mind for everybody's sake. Okay, so that's about communication. So 4, punctuate and mark the beginning of separation. So if tonight's the last dinner, you announce, say, guys, tonight is the last dinner for our family or before Mummy and Daddy leaves. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you know, your auntie or your grandparents are going to be here, and or our friend is going to be here, and Mummy and Daddy won't be home when you come home from school today, and we'll won't see you until Sunday or whatever. Okay, so they know that here this is the last time we get to eat together. I mean, it's important. Sometimes, you know, you say to them, I'm going to leave, and I'm going to leave. They don't know when you're going to leave. So you sort of have to have a little bit of a rite of passage there. So make it a special dinner or a special meal or whatever. And, you know, say so-and-so is going to be with you after you come home from school, and Mummy and Daddy will see you on Sunday. I like to write love notes to my children. So I've got love notes. This one needs envelopes. But just personal notes, just to let them know I love them. And I don't write I will miss you. I write I will be thinking of you, because I will miss you is saying that I'll be sad with this separation. And I don't want to focus on being sad. I want to focus on being happy. So I'll be thinking of you. Okay. So that's punctuating and marking time. Okay. Now measuring time is important. I used to, because children need something tangible, they have a difficult time measuring time. They don't know what 2 weeks look like or 5 days look like. So you have to kind of show them physically. So I used to make these paper chains for them, and they just tear out a chain a day. Every morning when they wake up, they take turns tearing out a chain, so they know that there's this many chains left or days left before Mummy and Daddy gets home. Okay, so that helps them know how long and how to measure that days and weeks and times. Okay, other things we do is just to have calendar, and then they can put a sticker on the dates. If there's 5 stickers for 5 days, you know, they can take turns putting the stickers on, or they can cross out the dates. Okay, or whatever. My kids are older now, so they can cross out the dates, and I have actually a schedule for them, so they're busy. Alrighty, so that's a way to help children measure time. Okay. The number 6 tip is to simplify your routine. So anybody that's helping you, your babysitter, needs to have a schedule of what your days and weeks look like, so they have an idea of what to expect, what the kids are expecting too. If you have any health concerns, okay, write it down so they know not to feed your children those things. My kids don't have allergies, but I try to tell them that they have allergies to junk food. They don't believe me though. Anyways, if you can cancel things, cancel it. Okay, cancel what you can cancel. So if you have, you know, this club, this activity, this not terribly important, don't overburden your babysitter, because you want a happy babysitter, and you know the kids are empathic, so the kids will be happy too. Okay. Just simplify that week, because it's hard enough. You being there is a little bit disruptive already. So do what you can to keep things organized and structured, but don't overburden the week. Okay. Now, I like to plan meals. I like things structured and organized as much as possible, because then I get more done, and I don't have to think too hard. My kids like structure too, so it makes it easier for us to go grocery shopping, and then it makes it easier for us to decide what to eat that day. We look forward to certain meals because, you know, we already know what we're going to eat. My kids love cooking, and I have trained them to cook. So most of the meals that we eat, they can cook themselves. But I pick their favorite meals and put that on the calendar, so they look forward to it. My kids have like volunteered, can you put me on that date and that day? I want to cook that one. I want to cook that one. So they really look forward to cooking. And because it's their way of contributing to the family, and they feel like it's a significant contribution, and they feel very confident in doing that. So that's a great thing. But you know, if your kids are too little and they are very particular in the things that they eat, and they like the way you make your spaghetti, they like the way you make your lasagna or whatever, make a whole bunch of meals to freeze, and then that's still a piece of mom still there. So the sitter, if she makes it different, they don't feel upset, because here's another evidence that mommy's not here. So if they have mommy's, you know, lasagna or whatever, that the sitter just needs to warm up in the oven, then that makes it so much easier. Okay, so that's something to consider. You know, I assign kids the chores, very simple chores: take the garbage out and do the dishes. So who's doing dishes? And you know, I team them up: older sister, younger sister, older sister, younger sister, so that the work gets done, the house doesn't become a mess when you come home. Okay, so that's that, just simplifying your routine. All right, so the last tip is to celebrate and mark a reunion. So when you come home, as soon as you can, have a little party or celebration for you guys being together. And I like to buy or get some gifts, even if they're little. It's a token for saying, I was thinking of you, you're important in my life. Okay, and then diffuse some happy oils to make a happy association for that reunion. Okay, so that's my 7 tips. So the first one is announce your plans early. The second is check for understanding and clarify expectations. The third thing is practice communication, so talking on the iPad and things. 4 is punctuate and mark the time that you're going to leave. Okay, 5 is measure time, so measure the dates, you know, the paper chains, whatever you like to do, stickers. Number 6 is simplify your routine. Number 7 is celebrate when you get home. Okay, so that is it, and I hope that helps you, because you know, you want your whole family to know that you love them, but sometimes you have to go away, and going away isn't a bad thing. It just helps, you know, build character and experience and things. So it's an important thing for them to experience, but you want them to make sure they get the message that you love them and you're not abandoning them or running away or anything and escaping them. So everyone is happy. So I hope that helps you, and if you have any questions or comments, just contact me. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.